Hi everyone. So this is the health only reading. I'm going to try not to. I always say I'm not going to, and then I do. I'm going to try not to go into other issues with the White House squatter. This one's for Thursday, August 21st, 2025. As you can see, I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite. And I'm asking for the truth only as to the state of his health for Thursday. There we go. Okay, so the forces in motion for the entire day with Page of Wands reversed. This is a card for exhaustion, heart problems, possibly a fever, and of course, well, incontinence. Okay, his big challenge for the day is the Ace of Swords, but when I read in the challenge position, I read it as a reversal, so I'll just turn it upside down. That way you can get the image in your head about it, or as to the meaning. So, again, I said I was only going to say health, but this, I look at him with his Sharpie pen. But in the case of, incontinence leading the day for him, having trouble that way, then I also have to look at it as memory loss and a lack of focus and confusion. So there we go. Now, sometimes because, with the swords, that suit rules all metal tools, and of course, writing instruments and things of communications and things of the mind. But I can see this as being surgery as well. So I don't know what he would do about that when it comes to incontinence. I guess it would be a catheter put in, right? I can't think of anything else, can you guys? Okay, so first thing in the morning, we have the Page of Cups reversed and the the Six of Wands upright. So with the Page of Wands, oh, kitty time, hello, meow, 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 meow. It's not what cats sound like. Okay, Page of Cups reversed, because it's our Moon and Scorpio card. When it comes to health, this is lymphatic issues. This is another card that has to do with exhaustion. And it's also one of my cards for, or what am I saying? This Moon and Scorpio. Or no, what? Oh my God. Moon and Scorpio. Yeah, it's Moon and Scorpio. It's a Knight of Cups, not the Page of Cups. It's a Knight of Cups. But I'm telling you the right thing with this card because I remember the image. So yes, lymphatic issues, exhaustion, and hidden addictions. Okay, just three things to remember when it comes to health with that card. Lymphatic, because it's the moon moving, and all the water, the suit of water, and many of the majors, of course, anything that has to do with water has to do with the lymphatic system. But when this guy's on his head, he's kind of like off his head, off his rocker, off his horse, right? So there's like, what's he drinking? But he could, with the lymphatic issues, like maybe he's just dehydrated. With the incontinence, that would, I don't know. I'm just wondering about that. And then with the Six of Wands coming through upright, this is one that rare card in the deck that just doesn't have any bad health aspects, especially when it's upright. So the way I'm going to have to read this is him being seen. There's something about maybe something comes out in the news about maybe he is wobbling around, there's that possibility. Maybe he's photographed or videoed drinking, putting something in a drink, or because you guys keep telling me you're seeing things like that. And then I have other comments that say, he doesn't drink. It's a well-known fact he doesn't drink. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's what he says. Now, Midday, two of Wands reversed. Okay, this is not good at all. This is a card of accidents. With the Sun reversed, this is terrible when it comes to health. It rules the heart and the solar plexus and like his core, At the very least, he's temporarily going through some depression. At the most, there's a breakdown of a bodily system, or two. And it may be two, right? Now, later in the evening, with the Star card and the Three of Swords. Oops, sorry about that. Star card, Three of Swords. So the Star card brings through the nervous system because it's ruled by Aquarius. Neurological disorders, things like that could be a problem. And I'm saying that, especially if it's reversed, I would say that, but just hands down, I always get cards for him that relate to the nervous system. But this also rules the ankles and the lower legs. So nervous system, legs, lower legs, ankles, and circulatory system. And, if you look at the stars around in the water moving, that's right. Like we're all stardust, and we all come from oceanic just amazing. Our bodies are miracles. They really are. They're miracles as long as we don't abuse them. But because of the combo of these two cards with the Three of Swords here, now on one level, of course, it's just heart issues, but it can also be heart surgery. So heart problems, heart surgery, it could just also be an illness and a person's like feeling betrayed by their body. But this combo here to me, and along with all the other, lymphatic and incontinence and sundowning and depression and bodily systems breaking down, I get the feeling here of congestive heart issues. So more ankle problems, and his heart is betraying his body by not pumping enough blood into it to get the circulation moving around. And he walks around, he gets around, so he should be doing okay that way. He actually is, pretty active. I know when he golfs, he just gets in and out of his cart. He's not, I'm sure he's, I don't know if he does any other exercise besides standing around with his little putt, whatever thing he's got going on in the White House, his little golf putt thing in there. But, he does walk from one area to Air Force One. He does walk to Marine One. So we can't say he doesn't get any exercise. But that's probably the little bit that's saving him. And, yeah. And so the way I'm looking at these right now is that so far, based on what we have on the table, is he's being seen for the swollen ankles again. Okay? And he does have incontinence problems. Okay, and then later in the evening, so this is really weird. So evening and then possibly middle of night. Oh, yeah. With the Seven of Wands upright, he should be sleeping, but he's up instead. And this is a card of, it's not reversed, but it is a card of heart problems and brain problems. And it is one of the cards that has to do with strokes, because it's Mars, which moves energy. Mars, no matter what sign the planet's in, is always moving energy, even when it's retrograde. And in Leo, it's just pushing, it's fire. It's double fire. So, and then same thing with, well, the moon's not fire, but Sag. We've got Sag energy here with the Nine of Wands reversed. Now, this is another one of those cards that has to do with just feeling better soon, even when it's reversed. With the Six of Wands and the Nine of Wands are those two cards in the deck that are really not too bad, other than when this one's reversed, we're talking paranoid. So he is having problems, and he is starting to worry. We've got paranoia here with the Nine of Wands reversed. He's on edge. He's stubborn, and he's pissing other people off, basically. This is a card of being very defensive and stubborn. And, which is what people do when they're paranoid and they have dementia. Or early stages Alzheimer's. I don't know which it is. But we'll see what, I keep getting it's going to be a stroke, a brain aneurysm. That hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagia. Yeah, sure. Okay. So at the foundation for these two cards are foundationally for the whole day, as well as these two cards, and the rest is just kind of timing. So not sleeping at night, paranoid, waking up, and all of that, right? But then also all day long, he's just he's not grounded. He's impulsive. He's having trouble, with this Knight of Wands here. He wants to get things done. He's doing stuff. I think he's doing whatever he can after the doctors help him. I think he's having, little, whatever interactions he needs with the surgical tools and bags and whatever. And then he's just going to get up and go because he can't stand to not be seen. He doesn't want to be seen as weak. That is the biggest thing that psychopaths cannot stand. They just can't stand. They can't stand being told no, and they can't stand not having attention, and they can't stand not being in control, and they really want to be looked at as, strong. I'm a strong man. Well, you know what? Only men who cry and feel their feelings and go through their emotional process work, those are the only strong men. These other guys are a bunch of, fakers. And that's why they have ED problems too. Now, I'm not saying everybody that has ED problems doesn't do their work, but I'm saying if they're younger, well, or maybe there's a heart problem, right? Because it's all about circulation. So, ixnay that comment. Sorry. Okay, now with the Eight of Wands reversed, well, again, probably falling down. At the least, it's a headache. This is also one of my cards for breathing problems. This is a card for needing to slow down. And there's a lot of frustrations and bad timing because he's impulsive. So we'll just see what trouble he gets himself into today, I guess. Okay, thanks you guys. See you soon. Bye.